Had the US exit from Afghanistan happened under the watch of Donald Trump, the world would have said it's happened in this fashion because of the kind of president Trump was. But this happened on the watch of Joe Biden, whose strong suit was supposed to be foreign affairs. This is leading the world to ask whether the condition of America now is that of Great Britain between the two wars, and whether the US is now a power in terminal decline. Farid.
Britain, certainly by the 1930s, was about 6-7% of global GDP, and trying to sustain a world empire where it governed almost a quarter of the world's landmass surface. The United States is about 22% of global GDP, still by far the largest economy in the world, larger than the next two economies put together. And it is not trying to manage a great global empire in quite the same way. Yes, it has military bases in lots of places, but it is not. Part of the point of the Afghanistan withdrawal was to exit the one or two places where it has a kind of imperial burden. So I think it is perfectly reasonable to say that the Afghanistan withdrawal was disastrous, as you put it. I think it's perfectly reasonable to ask what happened to Biden and his team's fabled competence in foreign policy. But I think that as often happens with these very sensational moments, one can overdraw and exaggerate the implications. The United States remains the leading economy in the world, the leading technological power in the world, and it has a military that remains the most formidable in the world by far.
Your leader today, Asaduddin Owaisi, started his campaign from Ayodhya, who he chose to call Faizabad, but that's not the debate. The debate, WARIS PATHAN, is what makes you so sure? 2017, you fought on 38 seats, and if I'm not wrong, you lost your deposit on 37 seats. The number of seats that you had were a little bit over 2,000.
We are going in UP with a clear mind that we want to contest the elections. Our party president also said we might be contesting on 100, or we are preparing for 100, but we might contest for more than 100 as well. Now your question is simple: what happened? Why we lost so much seats earlier? Yeah, but that time our cadre was not that strong. But in the last few years, our party president from UP, Shaukat Ali Saab, has worked really hard, and we have a very strong cadre. And we are confident that this time we will be able to defeat the BJP, and we will see to it that Yogi is not made the CM of Uttar Pradesh.
What we have done in the last 4 years in the state and last 7 years in the central government. I can give you data on different development. One district, one product. The number of government jobs. In the 4 years of Samajwadi government, 2 lakh. In the 4 years of Yogi government, more than 4 lakhs. How many medical colleges were there? In the last 70 years, only 12. In the last 4 years, 30 medical colleges. Be it infrastructure. So on the one hand, when the Bharatiya Janata Party, when the Yogi Adityanath government, when we are diverting the topic, we are focusing on development, we are focusing on empowerment of the marginalized, we are focusing on the representation of the unrepresented. So we are talking about development and the representation of the marginalized. And the other political outfits, they are only and only specifically talking about one caste, one community, and at some instance, one family only.
The governance, or the misgovernance, I would say, of Yogi Adityanath, we have worked, and we have a body of work to show. Most of the medical colleges which are being mentioned shamelessly by the BJP were started by us, and most of them were completed by us. There's a polytechnic, by the way, in Pachrawa, which has also been standing unopened for the past 4 years. Change the color if you want to, plus open it. It was made for girls. There's the IT city, there is Amur, there is a stadium, there's the expressway, there's a cancer hospital, there are medical colleges, and the bizarre thing was Yogi Adityanath was launching some sort of a nutrition month, and he demolished the nutrition mission which we had set up, and we were weighing children. We were giving certain special aids to malnutrition mothers, because that was the issue we recognized 4 years back.
We are beginning with a game of opposites. The MIM has started its campaign in a place where it wants to now heighten the frenzy of a particular community that feels that, you know, this land was theirs and the old structure was theirs, and that this is a new structure which belongs to the majority community in India. So the AIMM pitch, however much they keep on talking development, if you launch your campaign in Ayodhya or in Faizabad, whatever you want to call it, it's quite clear that the pitch is completely communitarian.
Right.
And that's the tilt that the AIMM wants to give it.
Shahin Mohammadi, if I could begin by asking you, what does this new Afghanistan government look like to you, ma'am?
मैं कुछ कहना चाहती हूँ यही पाकिस्तान के बारे में, जो आजकल ये सीन चल रही है और ये बार बार न्यूज़ में सब मीडियाओं में यही आ रही है कि हम अमन और सुकून अफगानिस्तान का चाहते हैं. अगर अमन और सुकून चाहते हैं अफगानिस्तान का, तो फिर बाई बाई के साथ क्यों लड़वा रहे हो? क्यों पाकिस्तानी लोगों को ये सबसे पहले ये बताओ कि चीफ ISI का क्यों यहाँ बुला दिया गया अफगानिस्तान में?
जी.
चीफ ISI का.
जी.
और दूसरी बात ये है कि क्यों तालिबान को दूसरा पंशेर के हमारा ये हालत के साथ क्यों लड़वा रही है? अगर ये लोग आरामी चाहते हैं, बाई बाई को क्यों लड़वा रही है?
देखिए, ये जो बात है, अफगानिस्तान सिर्फ और सिर्फ अमन डिजर्व करता है और इस वक्त उनके लिए सिर्फ और सिर्फ वही आना चाहिए. कभी रशिया, कभी USA, कभी वॉरलॉर्ड्स, कभी तालिबान, मतलब इतना सब कुछ हो चुका है.
कभी पाकिस्तान ISI, जो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण,
ये
द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट, वो तो आप बोल ही नहीं रही है. पाकिस्तान ISI DG का क्या काम है, ये आपने बताया ही नहीं. यही शाहीन ने यही सवाल पूछा.
पाकिस्तान ISI DG को तालिबान की लीडरशिप ने बुलाया था. हमारे कंसर्न है, वो हमारी तरफ दहशतगर्दी करने वाले TTP को नहीं रोक रहे. हमने उनको ये बात बतानी है. हमने अगर लैंड लॉक्ड अफगानिस्तान के साथ कोई भी ताल्लुक रखना है, कतर के भी कोई ऑफिशियल्स वहां गए हैं, UAE के ऑफिशियल्स गए हैं, इंडिया के आपके डिप्लोमेट्स दोहा में मुलाकातें कर रहे हैं तालिबान से, तो उसको इस सेंस में तो नहीं लिया जा सकता ना कि आपने कोई उनको हुकूमत टॉपल करने में पंचीर की मदद की है, या अमरुल्ला सालेह आपकी वजह से भाग गए, या जो लोग उनसे दूसरे मुल्कों से आके मिल रहे हैं उनकी वजह से अमरुल्ला सालेह और अहमद मसूद जो है वो भाग गए. ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता.